Imagine a rain-streaked war room where the stakes have just shifted. A frantic analyst slams a dossier onto a glass table, sliding it towards his general. His premise is simple. The Avengers' victory in 2019 inadvertently triggered a multiversal collapse. He points to a hard deadline, December 18, 2026. This is when an extinction-level threat arrives, and according to early intel, the monster wears a face the world once loved. The analyst highlights 4 specific anomalies within the Avengers time heist, timestamps where the timeline was fractured and left to bleed. At the first timestamp, 2012, the Hulk ignored the Ancient One's warning that removing the Infinity Stones would create divergent, darkened realities. The second timestamp tracks Steve Rogers. By staying in the past with Peggy Carter, Rogers warped the timeline he was supposed to protect. These fractured memories have become open wounds in reality, acting as temporal beacons for the arrival of Victor Von Doom. Skeptical, the general demands proof that returning the stones didn't repair the damage. The analyst plays intercepted audio from Joe Russo, one of the primary architects of this reality, confirming the escalating danger. Russo warns that this new conflict is a total reinvention of the franchise. He argues that the stakes are higher than they were during the Infinity War, because the story is moving into uncharted, radical territory. Anthony Russo adds that purely physical defense will fail. They've engineered the upcoming conflict to focus on emotional complexity and maturity, intending to surprise an audience that thinks it has seen everything. If the creators of this reality are admitting the old defensive tactics are obsolete, then the Avengers are currently defenseless. The analyst pulls up the facial recognition data. At first, the signature matches Tony Stark, leading the general to assume their fallen savior has somehow returned. The data reveals a different identity, Victor Von Doom. He is using Stark's physical likeness as a specialized psychological tool. New intel on experimentation suggests Doom is weaponizing the Avengers' specific grief over Stark, forcing them to hesitate in the moment of contact. This version of Doom originated on Earth 828, placing him outside the standard laws of their reality. Thanos was a physical combatant concerned with resources and balance. Doom is a psychological predator planning a multiversal execution. He wins before the first punch is thrown by forcing heroes to look at a monster wearing their dead friend's face. The general ignores the psychological risk and demands a strategy, calling for a readout of all forces ready for deployment. The current roster is fractured. The tactical UI shows 3 distinct teams operating in isolation, with no central Avengers command to unify them. The Fantastic Four from Earth 828 are currently drifting in orbit, effectively marooned and unable to coordinate with the surface. The remaining defenses are a patchwork of remnant teams like the Thunderbolts, and mutant heavyweights like Ian McKellen's Magneto, who are entering a war they don't yet understand. These uncoordinated factions are walking into a tactical slaughter. A sudden power failure kills the monitors. The room goes black. Then strobing red sirens reveal the analysts scrambling for backup systems. An encrypted countdown overrides the main screen, ticking down the seconds until December 18, 2026. The general demands the origin point of the transmission, expecting a signal from deep space. The analyst traces the signal back to their own timeline. It isn't coming from another universe, it's originating from inside their own history. Their own past actions have made the arrival of Doom a certainty. Doomsday has already begun.